Hello, animal communicators, and welcome back for another deep dive into juicy topics that will help you move from being an ordinary animal communicator to an extraordinary animal communicator. Today, I want to talk again about confidence. We've been really focusing on confidence this past month, but I actually want to share with you my story and the demons that I sometimes have to fight with in my head to do the job that I do. So I thought that might be quite a helpful angle to approach this from, because even though I teach about confidence, I'm trained in brain clearing, brain retraining work. I've been doing therapy and coaching work for decades now. So this is the stuff that I did even before I came into animal communication. But that doesn't mean that I've got it nailed. It doesn't mean that I don't ever feel doubtful or worried or anxious about things. So I really want to put that out there really, really clearly. I've been doing animal communication, working professionally and teaching people how to be animal communicators for just over 20 years. That's a long time. I know that I know my stuff. I know, and I see the students' progress on my program and the results that they get. I know and have absolute faith and trust and confidence in what I teach. And I know the strategies that I teach work. So, does that mean that I never have a moment of doubt in myself when I do this work or if I'm teaching? No, it doesn't mean that at all. Do you know why? Because I'm just human. And I'm really sorry if that disappoints you. If you thought I was something magical, I'm not really. I'm just human, just like you. Just like you. So, the point of today's teaching comes directly off the back of my free confidence boosting workshop that I ran on Tuesday night. If you missed it, didn't sign up for it, didn't see any of the blurb, you can access it just for the next few days by joining my Pet Whisperer Tribe list. I'll make sure that the link is in here. When you sign up to that, you will automatically get a free copy of Tuesday's confidence boosting workshop, which was an absolute blast. But something happened in the middle of that workshop, and that's what I want to share with you. So I'm live. I'm teaching. There's people in the room that I do not know. There was so many people signed up for that workshop. People that I don't know, and I was there to build a relationship with them and get to know them, and for them to get to know me as well. So I'm on point, doing what I'm doing, loving what I do, because I love teaching. And then I realised that I talked quite long on one of the slides, or one of the points on the slide, because I think there was more than 15 teaching points in Tuesday night's class. So I knew that one of them I had talked a little bit long, and I knew that I had a lot packed into the hour, so we were on it hard, fast, paper, pen, go. So I thought, I'll go get my clock, because I forgot that when I'm on this slideshow, I don't see the clock in the corner of my screen. So I reached behind me, got the clock, put it up, and then I nearly had a heart attack because I saw that I was running 10 minutes late. 10 minutes late, and I wasn't even halfway through, and I hadn't even reached the juiciest piece, which is the bit where people tell you to do things that doesn't work. So I was really calling out a couple of big myths that a lot of teachers teach, and I don't think they're effective. I don't think it works, and I really wanted to share that with people, because some of these teachings can actually be damaging to your confidence. So that was really important for me to share that. And I also like live engagement, and I wanted to do that, but here I was 10 minutes late, oh my lord, and I wasn't even halfway through. But that's when the stories in my head started, and I just taught on that workshop about the power of the stories in your head and why they will erode your confidence as an animal communicator. So here I am, I've just delivered that teaching point. I see that I'm running 10 minutes behind, and the stories in my head started. And honestly, it sounds ridiculous. I know it sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous to me. But that's the thing. When you've got a story in your head, it's loud and it's persistent. And it gains momentum very, very quickly. So if you don't take hold of it very quickly, it can take you to a really yucky place. So here I am, still delivering live with a smile on my face. Underneath the water, I'm paddling frantically while being all calm and serene on the top. That was what was actually happening in that workshop. I think, how am I going to get everything fitted in without rushing it and doing the best job that I could. But the stories had started, and the stories were all around judging myself for not having got it done in the right time, judging myself because I was now believing that other people would be judging me, my competence and my capability, my professionalism. So that was going yaldi in the background as I'm doing the rest of the workshop. And we got it all done, and it was finished, and the feedback was really good, and everybody was really happy, and so that was all grand. But I still had, even though I'd silenced the voices to carry on the workshop, once I shut my laptop, I was just like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe that I ran so late. I believed that I'd ran 25 minutes late, and I don't like being disrespectful to people's time. There were people from all over the world there. There were people that were getting up at what I would call silly o'clock in the morning on the other side of the world to be there. There were people that were coming in and then going off to their work, and they were in a different time zone. And I knew all of that. And so it was really important to me to be respectful to their time. So I had all of that going on as I shut the laptop, and it was just like, oh my God, the shame, the shame, the shame, that real like, oh my goodness. Now this next happened in about 30 seconds. I shut the laptop. I was about to make my way through to put the kettle on to get a drink, and my phone started pinging. Ping, 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 ping. Where were my thoughts? Now, here's the teaching here. So this is for you in your animal communication work, because you will have your stories about your capability or your visibility or whatever your underlying fears are around your animal communication work. They show up in that story, and the story, as I say, it's loud, persistent, and it gains momentum. So I was already now, the stories I'd silenced to finish the rest of the workshop, but now it was finished, they had just started back up, and they were like a loud chorus in my ear. Now my phone's pinging. My lens that I'm viewing everything in that moment, I'm viewing everything through the lens of, you didn't get it right, you weren't good enough, it's not good enough, So when the phone started to ping, where were my thoughts? My thoughts were, is that people complaining? Is that people saying that I've held them up for work? Or, so my head was there. I didn't even want to look at my phone. So I'm being very transparent with you here, because I think it's really important. I had this conversation with a client, nothing to do with animal communication, because it's the way the stories operate. And if you allow them, they will take over, and you won't do what you need to do. So at that moment, I did not want to look at my phone, because it was just going to reinforce the horrible bit that I was feeling about myself. Now, all this happened in 30 seconds once I'd shut my laptop down, because I walked to the kitchen and I was thinking, 8:30, how did you manage to get that so wrong? And it was when I said the words inside my head, 8:30, and something just went off like a light bulb. It's like, 8:30, that's when I told my husband I would be finished. Hang on a minute. When was I meant to finish that workshop? I was meant to finish at 8:30. I actually finished on time. So what had actually happened was I'd started that workshop on the half hour. My workshops always usually start on the hour. They start on the hour. I usually teach on the hour, but I had a class from my program running immediately before the workshop, so I was actually starting on the half hour. So that is what threw me. I actually delivered the workshop in the right time and had the time for interaction as well. So when I realised that, I now had a smile on my face as I got to the kettle and I put the kettle on. Now here's the teaching. When you have those stories, and this, I taught you this in the workshop, so if you haven't, if you came on the workshop, it's worth having a second look. If you missed the workshop and you want to grab it, get onto the list below and you'll be able to get it for the next few days only. It'll be down at the weekend. So what you need to do is you need to start course correcting. You want to pull that thought in, you want to cancel that thought, and then you want to correct it. So I'm now smiling as I go to the kettle. This took about 30 seconds from, oh my goodness, I don't want to pick up my phone, I don't want to see what people are saying, to a place of laughing about it. And I was actually laughing because it's, hang on a minute, Sarah Jane, like really just get over yourself. It's a free workshop. You said it was an hour. You introduced it at the beginning as being an hour. It was on the marketing as an hour. People were expecting to be an hour. So if you had a collywobble in the middle, because here's the other piece that I forgot to mention. When I realised that I'd finished on time, I had a new set of stories start. The new set of stories were, oh my goodness, I feel so foolish. I feel so foolish. I wasn't late at all. Yet I said to everybody, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm running late. Feel such a fool. and I would have looked like a fool as well. So if you have any fears about looking like an idiot in your animal communication work, I'm with you. That's what I was going through on Tuesday. So here's the thing, you course correct those thoughts, you neutralise them, you cancel them out, and you replace them with something much more empowering. So for me, that was, they knew it was an hour, and I cocked up. I mistakenly thought the time was wrong. So that was my mistake, but they all knew it was an hour. Let that one go, Sarah Jane. And it was like, just get over yourself. You're human. You're allowed to make mistakes. Like, just get over yourself. So I was able to let that piece go. And then ultimately, in that place of, now this is about rewarding yourself, and that was a key teaching point on that workshop. So if you were there on that workshop, you'll know why this is so important. So it's the rewarding myself, and it's like, do you know what? You nailed it. You got all those slides in, and you got the live interaction in, and you still finished with a couple of minutes to spare. Like, go me. How amazing is that? That is worth rewarding yourself for. So I was able to completely come out of that funk, which meant I could then pick up my phone. And here's the second teaching in this. When I picked up my phone, just a minute beforehand, the lens that I was viewing everything in and the energetic funk that I was starting to slip into was believing that all those pings were just validations of my failure, validations of all the stories in my head, yeah? But when I course corrected all that and then picked up my phone, all the pings and the messages were like, oh, I really loved tonight, I had a great insight here. And one of the messages, wait for this, one of the pieces of feedback that I got from Tuesday night was that when I said in that class, oh, I can't believe I'm running late. Right, I don't want to rush this, but I've still got quite a bit to get through. What somebody messaged me with was, when you said that in the class, Sarah Jane, my first thought was, oh no, I don't want it to end. I want this to keep going. So I'm sharing that with you so that you can see when we have our stories in our head and we're looking through the lens that we're looking through, it doesn't match what is out there. It is never ever as bad as you think it will be. It just isn't. And that was the proof in the pudding there. So if you've got stories running around in your head that you don't know how to rein in, that you don't know how to cancel, that you don't know how to course correct, then you really don't want to miss my event that starts next week, because that's the stuff that we're diving down into. There's the 4 live training classes where I'll be teaching content about how to increase your confidence in your animal communication work, sharing proven strategies with you, but I'll also be doing 5 additional mindset mastermind classes where we're looking at this stuff. We're looking at how do we help the mind, how do we course correct the mind, because the mind is what will stop you. Your thoughts, your beliefs are what will stop you following your passion and doing this work. Don't miss the event next week. You'll kick yourself so hard if you're lacking in confidence and you miss that event. It's going to be an absolute blast, like all my events are. Until the next time, my lovelies, keep showing up, keep practicing, keep doing what you do, and if you need any help or support, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Details in the post. Until next time, bye.